Hello, everybody. So last week I talked about fire signs and water signs. So I'm going to tell you about air signs. So if you are Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, you are an air sign. A lot of people hear the word Aquarius and assume water because you are the water bearer of the zodiac, but you are actually an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Have you ever been called an airhead? If so, or if someone ever calls you an airhead, tell them to guess again, because if you're an air sign, you're a deep thinker. You're also a communicator. So air signs tend to be fun and adventurous. They like to do new things and fun things. They're spontaneous. And they also like to try like new foods or go to new places. They might be the type that likes to climb mountains or someone who likes to swim across the bay. I mean, they just do all kinds of fun, adventurous things. So having an air sign in your group of friends is always cool because they always can figure out on the spur of the moment the best fun things to do as a group. They're also someone who does not base their decisions on emotions. Oftentimes, they will, if they have a huge decision to make, they will do their pros and cons. They'll weigh them out and decide based on that instead of going off their emotions. Or say they're in an argument with someone or something like that, they might think before they react based on how they feel. They also like to know the truth, the facts. They'll search for the truth behind something. So if someone says, "Oh, did you know that parrots fly upside down and backwards or whatever?" They'll be like, "Okay, whatever," So they'll look it up themselves. They've got to find the facts and the truth behind a lot of things. So they like to research things to get down to the nitty-gritty and the bottom of everything, so they know what is real or what's truthful, I should say. They're the most curious of the zodiac. So they're always asking themselves that deep question of what is my purpose? Or oftentimes they really get into that mindset of, okay, there's more to life than this. Or what's out there in the universe? Or, is there really a heaven or hell? Or, all them deep, meaningful questions we all have as people, the air signs tend to really dig deep into that and ask themselves, probably on a daily basis. Somehow it'll come into their mind of, what is my life purpose? Or what's this life about? Or what's the true meaning of life? That's just how they are. They're very deep, deep thinkers. And sometimes so much so that you think they're ignoring them when you're talking to them, but it's because they're thinking about something else, or they're off in their own little world. They can often lose themselves in thought. So they're very free-spirited also. So they're the three signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, the air signs. They are the three of the zodiac that are the most free-spirited. And when I say this, what I mean by this is, say they go out into the world. They want to live by their own way of thinking. They don't like to conform to somebody's rules or standards. They want to go out and live life the way they think they should live life, now by what everybody else says. They also, my paper. They also don't react well if they're in a controlling relationship. So if they end up having a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, a partner or friend, even, that's very controlling, they can't handle it. And it will cause them either depression or anxiety or anger or whatever. They cannot live by somebody controlling them and telling them how to be or what to do. They're not good with that because they're so free-spirited that they want to do things their way. And even though, like, say at work, somebody might show them, do it this way, this is how we do it, they, in their own mind, will think, no, I want to do it this way because this is what feels right to me. I don't care how you do it. That's just how they are. They're free-spirited and like to think for themselves. They don't want anybody else thinking for them. When it comes to the cons of the air signs, they're kind of divided down into Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So with a Libra, the con for Libra is they're a people pleaser. So when I mean a people pleaser is they're always trying to make everybody happy. They don't like to take sides when there's an argument between a couple people. They're kind of in the middle and they're like, well, I agree with you and I also agree with you and you're kind of both wrong. And they're always people pleasing. And sometimes it's at their detriment because sometimes they tend to put their own wants and needs aside because they're always trying to please everybody else instead of pleasing themselves. They can come off sometimes as scatterbrains. I'm talking about Libras here. They come off sometimes as scatterbrains. Not that they really are. It's just that they're always thinking, and a lot of times they have racing thoughts. So they'll be the kind of person that, you're driving down the road with them and you're talking to them, and all of a sudden it's like, squirrel, squirrel. And you're thinking, oh God, don't you hear anything I'm saying? You're so busy looking out the window with all these damn squirrels or whatever. So that's the kind Libra is. They can't always stick to the decisions that they do make. Libras are the worst one out of the air signs, that sometimes they'll make a decision and they'll change it and they'll change it again and change it again and change their minds again. So they get easily distracted sometimes with decision making. The cons for an Aquarius is they get frustrated or mad when others don't share in the same beliefs or logic that they think. So if you're like debating about something like this COVID stuff or whatever, or politics, an Aquarius will think a certain way and they are bound to determine their way is the right way. So that's a con for them. And no matter what someone else might say, even though they might have, more evidence to prove this way or that way, an Aquarius will be, no, this is the way I believe and this is how I'm going to think, and you can't change my mind. So that's how they are. They got a stubborn mentality, Aquariuses do. So when it comes to Gemini, the twins, due to their outgoing nature, they tend to repeat their story. So like they'll tell the same story over and over and over again. And sometimes you'll hear it for years and years and years. So if you're really good friends with a Gemini, you might be out with your friends and be like, oh my God, how many times is she going to tell this story? We've all heard it 100 times. Something else that's a con for the Gemini is that they have the ability to expand the truth. I don't want to say liars. They're not all liars. But when they tell a story, sometimes you've heard it this way, and then like the next week they're telling a group of people this story they have already told you, and it tends to get bigger. They stretch the truth about the story, or they add or take away from the story to make it more appealing for others' ears. So that's a con for the Geminis. They also have sometimes had the inability to not listen to other people. So sometimes because they're the communicators also, not just the thinkers, they often will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about themselves and things that's happened in their lives and things that's going on in their lives. And they never give room for anybody else to chime in or to talk. So if you've heard that same story year to year to year, and every time you guys go out somewhere and it tends to expand or become smaller or not as big, whatever, and you're trying to put your 2 cents in and they don't let you, that's why, because that's their con. Geminis tend to lose themselves in their own crap, I guess. So if you are an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, there's your pros and cons. And I will do the earth sign last because I am an earth sign and I am very attracted to the earth. But I'm going to do the earth signs next. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I know I'm kind of rushing through it, but it's kind of getting late at night and I've got shit to do. So I'll probably hurry up and do the earth sign real quick too. That way I can upload them at the same time. And that'll be all the elements of the zodiac once the earth sign's done. And then we can talk about who knows what. I don't know. Things always pop in my head. You'd think I was an air sign because I think constantly. But we'll see if that's part of my earth element when we get there. All right, guys. Believe, believe, believe. Always believe in yourself. And I love you all. Night.